Welcome back to the Wizard Weekly, where we talk about everything happening right now in gaming. So right now, many excited Nintendo fans kind of have this mental countdown going on in their head, kind of like those pre-show events on those YouTube live streams or those big company developer showcases. But instead of counting down to an overall mid-event like that last State of Play PlayStation event, Nintendo fans are counting down to the April 2nd Switch 2 showcase, and really just for the main reason of knowing, the price point of this next handheld or slash hybrid console. Because as far as everything else, we already have a pretty much good idea of what the console is going to look like. We already have the leaked dimensions. As far as features go, there's rumors of there being like mouse sort of Joy-Con support on there. The only real thing up in question right now that's killing a lot of players' psyche and just, having them stay up late at night thinking about what it could be is the overall price of this, likely expensive thing. And I know that whatever Nintendo decides to charge for the Switch 2, there's going to be a grip of players who are going to argue against it, want it to be lower, just say that, you shouldn't pay this price point for this console. But I would rather pay whatever Nintendo decides to charge at retail for the Switch 2 than what supposedly the Switch 2 on the black market is being worth right now, because apparently there's reports that people have it and are selling it for $40,000. Now, before I say anything else and go any further with this topic, I gotta say that just going off pure gut reaction and pure instinct, this all just sounds like a Wattpad fairy tale of some freaking, a freaked out Nintendo fan that just had a fantasy dream of this and, decided to put it on the internet. And at the same time, you never really know, because you can buy an entire liver on the black market if you wanted to. So who's to say you can't buy an unreleased Nintendo console? We might be on the same website as well, because according to Nintendo, those two have like the same value. So bullshit warning aside, apparently the same dude who leaked the first computer model of the Switch 2 back in, I think it was like August or September when I first, this first hit the scene. Basically the leak that campaigned the entire, Switch 2 leaks and rumors run that we had from this summer to it finally being revealed. That same Chinese leaker went to a forum page and posted a conversation that he had with a black market seller claiming that they had the Switch 2 on hand. Now, as you can see in the screenshot of this text message, the leaker asks, "Do you have a real Switch 2 base and console?" And the apparent seller says yes, 6W for the base, 23W for the joystick plus menu. Now, I have no idea what W means. I don't know what freaking currency that is, so, my bad for being ignorant on that. Then he asked for a picture of the base, to which the Switch seller just left him on red, so I guess this person just does not fuck with him like that. Now, as for a translation from someone on that same forum page, apparently after, currency conversion, the seller wants $8,000 for the dock, and for the tablet and Joy-Cons, $31,000, a little over that. Put it all together and it's just a little over $40,000. Now, anyone in their right mind would understand that no, sober person would pay $40,000 for a console that's coming out in the next couple of months. Like, that's just stupid. So I'm kind of thinking that this is more of a price point that'll appeal to like, brands, maybe like accessories makers, like how D brand made a whole case before the Switch 2 even came out based on like the leak dimensions. So maybe a company will pay this price to have like an advantage and know the like exact dimensions if, the leaks aren't already like accurate enough. Because even if this person somehow broke into Nintendo factories or just somehow has a guy that knows a guy that got them a Switch 2 model, I'm pretty sure if this is assuming this is a real thing, that they would charge $40,000 for something that people are going to be able to get in a couple months, unless he's targeting, like I said, company brands who will want to pay early for this kind of thing. If not, if that's not even like in his mindset, then he's just stupid. And you can only imagine how Nintendo feels about this whole thing. I mean, they're already in the midst of fighting legal battles still going on with Power World, trying to expand that to US markets of, law and whatnot. So if this somehow has some sort of validity and they actually, catch wind of this, I have no doubt that they're going to try and go after this man's entire lineage. They're going to be so freaking furious over this kind of shit. But, is what it is, man. We'll just have to wait and see. And moving on to a bit of hopeful news regarding PlayStation and Sony, recently in an earnings call, Sony's president Hiroki Totoki shed some light on a few of the company's future endeavors as far as the games go, to which he claims that they plan to expand on a bunch of their, well-received IPs right now, including live service and of their family titles, obviously referencing Helldivers 2 and Astrobot. Now, briefly, what he says about live service games is a little bit interesting, since we know that they canceled a lot of, PlayStation live service games following the Concord flop. Obviously, they're going to still focus on live service, since like that's the main way of business now in the gaming world. Like, if you're not getting in on that, then, you might be missing out. So it's a little up in the air as far as how that's going to turn out. But as far as, you know, family oriented titles like Astrobot, I would love to see more of that from PlayStation. Now, I'm not trying to see PlayStation go full, you know, Nintendo rated E for everyone games in their whole first party lineup. Like, we already have a company for that. PlayStation, you know, they have so many really dope ass IPs that they haven't tapped into in the longest, that are like more rated T or rated M, you know, Killzone, Resistance, Infamous. I think that's a PlayStation IP. I don't really remember, but I'm pretty sure that was a PlayStation IP as well. Like, Astrobot is a beautiful game, and even just run some awards at the DICE Awards, like, what was it, last night or the night before? So that is a game that's going to stand the test of time, you know, no matter when you're playing it. But they just have so many dope ass IPs that they aren't like paying attention to. So just seeing them focus on, you know, family oriented games, I'm all for that, because I just got a notification. I'm all for that because they've shown time and time again, you know, even before Astrobot, you know, with the whole, you know, Astro's Playroom, they've shown that they have, you know, a good understanding of this IP and can do something really cool with it, even if it's not just, you know, Astro. So it is kind of cool to see them tap back into their bag of family games that kind of, you know, put them on the map with consoles as early as like the PlayStation 1 with, you know, titles like Crash Bandicoot, Parappa the Rapper. Like, there's so many cool like family IPs they do have, but I just want them to focus on like a broad range of games, because I think that's the best part of PlayStation, that they have just so many like cool IPs that you can play, from family to if you want to split somebody's head open. So yeah, PlayStation, man, don't let me down, please, just don't let me down. And lastly for today, unfortunately, since the gaming world is a little ass right now, so news is kind of light, but apparently Steam, they had to crack down, you know, pretty swiftly, because apparently a game that got listed on here not that long ago infected players with a virus from just, you know, playing this title. Now, this is something that we don't really see much of. I mean, it's more common to see like a game get hacked and then like a remote virus gets transferred to everyone's computers, but this game just came embedded with apparently a VDAR malware is what they call it, which is basically like info stealing, like, you know, your cookies, your passwords, all that kind of stuff. And the game in question was apparently a title called Pyrify, which was apparently a 3D adventure, a multiplayer survival game that looks like a Unity passion project based on these screenshots. The game was published by Seaworth Interactive and was free to download. Now, the exact number of players affected by this, you know, malware in this game is unknown, but the downloads have apparently reached over 1,500 users. So I would expect, you know, at least 1,500 people need to change their passwords, you know, make sure everything that they have saved on their devices change and whatnot. Like, they have to do a full system cleanse. And if you downloaded this game at any point in time, Steam already sent an email claiming to, you know, do a full check on your system to make sure that nothing nefarious is going on, because, you know, as soon as they caught wind of this, they went down on this swiftly. And honestly, it's just really weird. Now, as far as the developer goes, Seaworth Studios, they haven't said anything, you know, since this whole thing transpired. They don't even have any like social media accounts. I checked on Instagram, Twitter, they have nothing on there. So it's pretty obvious that this is like some sort of company with like some sort of like phishing scheme going on to try and get as many, you know, accounts and data as much as possible. That's obviously the whole aim of this game here. But it's kind of sucks because there was at least like 19 reviews here, like they say here, that reviewed it as positive. So people did enjoy, you know, this phishing game, but apparently the developers had other things in mind. So yeah, even though many people weren't affected by this and probably didn't even know this even happened, I still think it's like a good wake-up call to remember that the internet is not, you know, always a happy and safe place. Like, even though we use this pretty much in every part of our lives now, a lot of people on the internet are out to really just, you know, exploit you as a player, a regular human being, whatever it is. On every website, people have nefarious intentions in mind. But even still, just look at that freaking screenshot. Why would you want to play that? And that's all that I got for today, man. If you enjoyed, leave a like, a video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.